Hello, for the 20th week of the year, using only the gospel, which is Luke 12:49 to 53. In that gospel, I used to not like it at all, or it bothered me, because of what Jesus said. Well, quickly, he said, I have come to set the earth on fire. Do you think that I've come to establish peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. That always bothered me because I always thought Jesus came to bring peace on earth, goodwill toward men. The Christmas story. That's what it's all about, isn't it? But here he says, I didn't come to bring peace, but division. Division. How does that fit into the world? You know, in our world, we have the division of the Republicans and the Democrats. We have the 1% versus the rest, or the middle class and those who are really on the bottom of the rung in society. And there seems to be so much division in our country, in our nation, and in the world itself. And perhaps more division in the world itself than even in our country. In Kentucky, our state motto is united we stand, divided we fall. And so when you have united or divided, you know, it's in the church. It's in our nation. It's in our families. It's in our personalities. Well, what does the church really mean by those statements of Jesus? Well, I think it seems to me from the far cry of Christmas, but it certainly seems to me the present cry of division and violence and war, etc. Christ wants to set the world on fire. Well, how do we ever get the Democrats and Republicans together? How do we get the conservatives and the liberals in the church together? Sometimes, how do we get mom and dad together? Well, if we don't, there's gridlock in government. There's constant fighting in families, mixed up families. There's the conservatives and liberals in the church. And it just is divided when I think we're called to be united. What about all this peace on earth, goodwill at Christmas? Well, I think if you take all of the earth right now and see the divisions and the problems that we have in the world, how are we going to get peace? You need a peaceful person, a peaceful attitude, a peace message to lead in the direction of unity and love and harmony and peace. That person, I think, that universal person is Jesus. And Jesus really is his message. And for his message to take hold, there's going to be a lot of division. There's going to be a lot of sparks, much fire and heat, and rugged discussions and argumentations. That peace on earth, goodwill to men and women, doesn't come about easily. And that's just we call about in our country. What about in the world, in the history of the world? If you look back, and one of our greatest explanations is we find ourselves in not being united, but divided. Just look at the stories in the book of Genesis. Brother against brother. Adam and Eve not obeying, the environment and the floods. Well, Jesus wants this world eventually, starting now, to be non-divided. And he wants his message to set the world on fire, to set our hearts on fire. And it takes an awful lot of energy to overcome evil. That's what he did. Look at the energy that he put in, suffering and dying on the cross. And look what all the prophets did, and present day prophets do. Look at all the good people in the world, of who we are and what we do. That, I think, is what Jesus talks about when he says, I didn't come to bring peace, but division. In and through his division will lead to peace. That Christmas message of the angels, peace on earth, is the announcement of the possibility of peace. That term that Jesus always used, the kingdom of God, is the termination and the end, peace on earth. So, I like that passage in today's gospel. Maybe because I understand it a little bit better, that it is only just begun. The message, the peace message, the promise of the kingdom of God, and that's begun now. And it's up to you and I not to cause division, but if we have the message, division will show itself. And if our message is going to lead the people in the direction of God, it is headed toward peace on earth, goodwill to men and women. I sort of feel a lot more in tune with Jesus, to set the world on fire, to eradicate divisions and violence and wars, and really help bring about the kingdom of God. What do you think about this reading? You like it? Or you understand it? That's what I've been asking. Do I like it? Do I understand it? I think I understand it a little bit more. How about you? Have a good day.